So a new self-storage facility is opened up in your submarket. Should you panic? Well, no, don't panic. Just take action. My name's Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Self-Storage Quick Start Academy. And what I do is I support small investors who want to get in the self-storage business or who want to grow their self-storage business, strategically do so in a way that creates true wealth and a fulfilling career. So what do you do? What do you do when a new self-storage facility has opened up in your submarket and they're being very aggressive in leasing up space and competing with you? Especially if that new facility is a REIT that is very aggressive. First month free, second month free. We've got one facility that is 50% below us and then half off that for the first 3 months. That's a competitor. So I'm not a big fan of racing to the bottom in terms of price, but yet we may have to get more aggressive. So will you. So let's talk about some strategies that you can employ, and hopefully these are strategies you don't have to wait until you have a competitor open up in your submarket. The first thing I want to talk about is having a very, very strong internet presence. Show up everywhere that customers go online to look. That's pay per click. Show up in Facebook, show up in Google. When customers are online and they have visited your website, or customers are online searching for self-storage, you show up. You show up in the Facebook news feed, you show up in Google, you show up on the first page of a Google search. So a strong internet presence is critical. I've done some episodes on this. I'll be doing a training class on how to use the internet to market and position and run ads. But know that that is a very critical piece. Why? Well, because your competition, especially if you're competing with a REIT, they show up everywhere. When the customers are looking in your submarket, those are some of the first facilities that they will see. Your job is to show up either with them or show up ahead of them. You can do it. You've just got to learn new skill set. Now, even if you're stabilized, you could be affected by a new facility opening up. Now, I've never seen anybody go from 90% to 65%. I'm sure it's happened. I just don't know anybody it's happened to. Never happened to talk to them. Now, you might go from 93% to 85 or 84%. Or you might go from 97% to 88% or something of that nature. But I've never seen anybody lose 20, 30, 40% of their occupancy when a new facility opens up. But what will happen, or what could happen, is you'll have your normal churn of move-outs, but you won't have your normal churn of move-ins. Why? Because the competitor in your submarket is offering a very good enticement to have those people come to their facility and rent that space. So you're going to have to show up in front of them, and you're going to have to show up competitively. I'm not saying you need to match them dollar for dollar. We don't do that, or at least we don't do that yet, but we do show up when people are searching. Now, when you're dealing with your managers, if you've got good managers, they will be panicking at this moment. I like it when our managers get a little nervous and upset about this. But I've got a partner who has what he calls the 4 wall theories. So we're the ones that, quote, panic. Actually, we're the ones that strategize and create the action steps. But when we're talking with our managers, we focus on the 4 wall theory, which is we don't know what our competition's doing. All we can do is focus on what we do inside these 4 walls. So when a customer comes in, you create an experience for them that will have them come back and will have them bring their friends and refer people to us. That's, as the manager, that's what you focus on. We'll design together maybe what offerings to offer, what units to offer up for specials, but as the manager, what you need to do is just focus on doing what you do the best and outshine your competition. Just focus on your strengths. And that's what we have our managers focus on. The next thing we do is know your competition. Go rent units from them. I won't have my manager go rent a unit. Why? Because I want my manager to get to know that manager in that facility. And you'd be amazed when managers get together. We have managers in competing facilities that will tell our managers everything. They'll tell them the specials they're running. They'll tell them what their occupancy is. It's rare that those managers in those other facilities even ask our managers the same questions of us. But we have our managers establish great relationships with the managers of the competition. I'll have our manager feed them business if we can't satisfy them. If somebody's looking for a climate control and our climate control are fully leased up and we're going to lose them and I can't put them in another facility I own, we tell our managers to send them to the competition. Why? Because we want to establish a good relationship between the managers of those facilities. We get a lot of information. So know your competition. I go in there early, I rent a unit. I don't put anything or put much in it, but I now have a code to get in there. I can walk around and see what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, what their lease looks like, what their specials are. I can walk the halls and see how many units appear to be rented, how many units appear to be vacant, and now I have information on what's going on in there, besides the information I buy from information service providers. So I will know the competition inside and out. I know what they're good at, I know what they're bad at, so when our managers are talking with customers, our managers will direct the customer to question and find out what the weaknesses are of our competition, and then we fill that gap with our strengths. Know your competition. That's a critical thing to do. Don't run from them and hide from them, pretend they're not there. Know them inside and out. Know what they're good at, know what they're bad at. Next, it's important to have a presence in the business organizations of your community. This is where you can really outshine the competition, especially if they're a large company in multiple markets. Very often those managers don't show up at the Chamber of Commerce and at the local business organizations. We have our managers are an integral part of the local areas association, business associations. We host meetings there. We have Christmas parties at our facilities. Our managers are very often on the boards of those organizations. And what happens is all the local business owners in the area, when they're thinking of storage or they're referring storage to their customers and employees, they first think of us. Why? Because we're an integral part of that business community. And our managers are the face of that. So to summarize, the number one rule when you have a large, aggressive competitor open up a new facility in your market area, number one rule, don't panic, just take action. Here are some of the action steps. Really focus, and I would start focusing now while you're at 97% occupancy. Start focusing now on having a strong internet presence. Show up everywhere on the internet. Show up in Facebook, show up in the Google ads, show up in banner ads, show up in pay-per-click. Be on the pages where people in your market look for self-storage. If you don't know how to do it, learn how to do it. Pay somebody to do it, but show up. Number one. Number two, know your competition. Know them inside and out. Know their strengths and their weaknesses. Have your managers on a first name basis with those managers. Get to know your competition. And number three, be very active in the local area, in the business community, in the chamber or the local business association or whatever's involved in the submarket of your area. Have your managers or you, but preferably your managers, show up and be an integral part of that, the business landscape of the community in which you do business there. You focus on those things. Yes, a competitor could affect your occupancy. Yes, a competitor is going to take some of your customers. But here's what I know. Over time, that submarket will level out. More people will come in, and occupancy rates will typically level off, unless there's an extreme amount of square footage in that submarket where it's going to take years to absorb. In most cases, what I've seen is that the supply demand will level out again, and then slowly everybody begins to increase in occupancy as the population grows and more people start using self-storage. So don't panic, take action, stay alive, know your competition, show up in your business organizations. So thank you very much. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Storage World Analyzer, a phenomenal financial analysis tool we use as we're looking at the submarkets we're going in, or the submarkets that we're in, and we're analyzing and predicting the cash flows of the facilities. We use it to determine if we want a facility, of what we can pay for a facility. We use it every single day as we're growing our self-storage business. If you get a little frustrated with Excel, or feel like you may be making mistakes, or want to find out more about this tool, Creating Wealth Through Storage.com or StorageWorldAnalyzer.com. Thank you very much. Let me know your successes, your challenges, and share this video. If you find these videos helpful, please share them with people you know, and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, no matter where you may be seeing this. Thank you very much. I'll look forward to being with you again soon.